So let's talk about the temper tantrum. The way that you would respond to a temper tantrum should be to continue to hold firm in your limit setting. So if you said, no, you are not allowed to have your tablet right now, you want to hold to that limit. You don't want to go back and say, okay, well, maybe I'll let you have it, for 15 minutes because you just had this, tantrum on the floor. You do want to hold your boundaries, but some things that you can kind of do to, decrease the intensity of it or help the child in that situation learn to accept your limits, as you could offer choices if you wish. You don't always have to, but sometimes choices are good, especially when there is a clear no. And we really know that young children have a really hard time hearing no, but even just regulating their emotions after hearing no. So one way you can kind of support is to offer choices, okay? So an example of this is, we're not able to go outside right now. That's your no. But we can think about maybe going outside after you take your nap. That's a choice that you've given them. Either we take our nap now and we get to go outside, or, if the nap doesn't happen, then we won't be able to talk about outside type of thing. Your choices can be whatever you want them to be and whatever you're willing to do. Okay. Do not run into the situation where you're giving a choice to avoid a tantrum. We don't want to teach the child that, if I have a tantrum, well, I can kind of get XYZ from mom or dad or whomever. So only offer a choice if that's really something that you're wanting to allow, and if it's feasible to you and it's logical to you, as an alternative to whatever it is that you said no to. Another thing you want to do when a child is having a tantrum, you can offer some reassurance or offer some empathy. Okay, so I'm not saying, your child is having a tantrum and you don't want to ignore, you don't want to just kind of leave them to handle that on their own. But something that you can do is, just acknowledge it, point it out. I noticed that you got really upset because you can't have your tablet right now. I know it's really hard to wait your turn to use the toy right now. Just a simple acknowledgement lets your child feel that you still care. Although the answer is no, mommy still cares for me right now. And so, the child doesn't feel neglected or rejected, even though they just kind of receive the most devastating news to them in that moment. And so you still want to have that connection with them. But another thing that does is lets the child know that you hear them and they matter and their emotions matter. So just be mindful of that, but then go ahead and continue with your limit setting, but right now we can't have that. But here's what we can do. Maybe we can go read a book together or something like that. This is where you're starting to get into those choices. So those are your temper tantrums.